So, as you can hear, I am incredibly sick. I sound like a baritone man. Let's see how low I can go. Oh my god, I've never been able to do that. I am doing all I can. Matt has put together this incredible care package of like everything for my throat. Everything. Anywho, haha, I am working on my book proposal, and this is so weird to hear myself talk like this. And I am really excited because I've gotten great feedback. On another note, I almost feel like I shouldn't talk about this, but when I feel that way, that means I should. I've had a comment on my social media from actually a friend of mine, and it was in response to one of the videos I posted a few posts back, and I asked everyone, especially women, to share real pictures of yourself and to put that out in social media so that our future generation can grow up seeing a diverse group of this like female collective, like not just thin pictures of women and not just like big pictures, but this like entire, like a rainbow of women, all colors, all sizes, all shapes, roles, no roles. I think that was one of like her points, is like I'm alienating all the women without roles. And you know, I listened to her opinion and I think that is very valid, but to me it feels like the Black Lives Matter movement, where like we need to support Black lives. And of course white lives matter and whatever color lives matter, but in particular, like Black people are marginalized, and there's still so much racism in the world that we have to support Black, and we have to make a safe home in the world for Black individuals. And you know, it was kind of like counterproductive to say like, well, Black lives matter, well, white lives matter too. Like, so for me, this idea of like, well, going back to the Black Lives Matter thing, is like, I get why we all need to say Black Lives Matter, because we have to support that minority, or, you know, the idea that a race is still being suppressed in our society. It just is unbelievably believable to me, and it's scary. And the same thing is happening to women in their body image. So if you look on social media, you see women that are typically one size and one color. Usually they're thin white women. And while there's absolutely nothing wrong with thin white women at all, we have to support diversity in body image, because there's a lot of women that are being suppressed or being taught that they're bad or not good enough because they're not being represented in society, in media, in advertising. And I think we're getting better at it, especially in advertising. But as individuals, we need to stand up for ourselves and say like, hey, we're good enough to share ourselves just the way we are right now on social media. I don't need to like Facetune anything or edit out a role or get a better angle, because at the end of the day, the people that are actually seeing these pictures and videos on Instagram or any type of social media is our future generation. And don't we want to raise women and our children and men to believe that being ourselves is amazing and perfectly good enough? So I just wanted to respond to that comment on Instagram and say that this is what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to alienate any size, and I'm sorry if I've made any of you feel alienated. I think there's space for all of us to talk about embracing our bodies just the way they are on social media. And I am making space specifically for women who feel like they're underrepresented in society, and a lot of those women are women who tend to be the big girl, which is what I was growing up as a child. I was always the bigger girl, and you know, I've always been an athlete, and I've felt like my whole life I've always tried to be thinner because I wanted to fit in. So I'm not trying to alienate. In fact, some of my followers are actually very, very thin, and I've always wanted to be bigger, and they can see through the message, and they're like, Emily, man, it's so crazy. Like, your story is the same as mine, except like I've always tried to be, and so I really, really hope that you're able to draw some nuggets away from, any of my rants or my posts or my stories, that we're all just trying to be accepted. And I thank you for listening, and I'd love to hear your feedback and what you draw from my message. And if you do think I should, actually, no, I don't want to know if you think I should represent anybody other than myself. And I think that's so beautiful, to be a woman with a strong backbone, and to it's just what I believe. I'm always going to support women who have always been told that they're too big or too small and they should take up less space, blah, blah, blah. So that's just me. But you know what? There's room for all of us, and we can all make the world a better place by supporting all different types of women.